Welcome to my channel Car Auto, ladies and gentlemen. The Ford Thunderbird has long been one of the most iconic names in American automotive history, known for its blend of style, performance, and luxury. Initially introduced in 1955, the Thunderbird quickly became a cultural icon, representing the height of personal luxury cars in America. Over the years, the car underwent multiple transformations, spanning 11 generations until its production ceased in 2005. The Thunderbird's legacy has remained strong, and rumors of its return have persisted in the automotive world, leading to speculation about a possible 2025 Ford Thunderbird revival. With the resurgence of retro-inspired models like the Ford Bronco and Chevrolet Camaro, enthusiasts and industry insiders have long debated whether Ford might bring back the Thunderbird. Digital renderings and concept art have surfaced online, showcasing potential designs that blend classic elements with modern engineering. However, Ford has yet to make an official announcement regarding the return of the Thunderbird, leaving many to wonder whether this legendary nameplate will ever grace the roads again. If Ford were to revive the Thunderbird for the 2025 model year, it would likely aim to balance heritage with innovation. The classic Thunderbird was known for its sleek design, long hood, and luxurious touches, making it a favorite among those who wanted a stylish yet powerful vehicle. A modern iteration would need to capture the essence of its predecessors while incorporating the latest advancements in automotive technology. Industry experts speculate that a 2025 Thunderbird would feature a more aerodynamic design, incorporating LED lighting, a sculpted body, and a distinctive grille reminiscent of its classic predecessors. In terms of performance, the Thunderbird has historically been a grand touring car rather than an outright sports car. If revived, it could adopt a similar approach to vehicles like the Lexus LC, Mercedes-Benz SL Class, or even the Chevrolet Corvette in its grand touring format. Potential engine options could include a turbocharged V6 or even a twin-turbo V8 to ensure that the Thunderbird remains a performance-oriented luxury vehicle. Given Ford's push toward electrification, some speculate that a hybrid or fully electric Thunderbird could also be in the works, aligning with the industry's shift toward sustainability. The interior of a modern Thunderbird would need to reflect luxury and sophistication while integrating the latest in infotainment and driver assistance technologies. Expect high-quality materials such as leather, wood, and metal trims, as well as a digital cockpit featuring a large touchscreen infotainment system with support for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and advanced navigation features. Heated and ventilated seats, ambient lighting, and a premium sound system would likely be standard to ensure a comfortable and enjoyable driving experience. Safety and driver assistance technologies would be essential components of a 2025 Thunderbird. Features such as adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, and a 360-degree camera system would likely be included. Ford has been implementing its Copilot 360 suite of safety features in many of its vehicles, and a modern Thunderbird would likely benefit from these advanced systems to ensure both safety and convenience on the road. One of the biggest questions surrounding a potential Thunderbird revival is whether it would retain its traditional rear-wheel drive layout or adopt an all-wheel drive system. Rear-wheel drive has long been associated with performance-oriented luxury cars, and keeping this configuration could help maintain the Thunderbird's legacy as a driver-focused grand tourer. However, all-wheel drive could be an option, particularly if Ford decides to incorporate hybrid or electric powertrains to appeal to a broader range of consumers. If Ford were to reintroduce the Thunderbird, its positioning in the market would be crucial. The grand touring segment is highly competitive, with established players like the BMW 8 Series, Lexus LC, and Mercedes-Benz SL Class offering a blend of luxury and performance. To stand out, Ford would need to ensure that the Thunderbird offers a compelling combination of design, power, and technology at a competitive price point. Given the success of other revived nameplates, a new Thunderbird could tap into nostalgia while appealing to modern buyers looking for a stylish, high-performance luxury car. Pricing for a hypothetical 2025 Thunderbird would depend on its features and powertrain options. A base model with a turbocharged V6 might start around $55,000 to $60,000, while a higher performance V8 variant could push the price closer to $80,000 or more. If Ford were to offer an electric Thunderbird, the price could vary significantly based on battery range and performance capabilities. Given the growing demand for electrified vehicles, an all-electric Thunderbird with a range of 300 to 400 miles could position itself as a strong competitor in the luxury EV market. While speculation about the Thunderbird's return continues, Ford has remained silent on the matter. The company has focused on its Mustang lineup, expanding it with the Mach-E electric sub and high-performance variants like the Dark Horse. However, with the automotive industry constantly evolving, there remains the possibility that Ford could revisit the Thunderbird nameplate in the future. If demand for luxury grand tours remains strong, and if Ford sees an opportunity to capitalize on nostalgia while incorporating modern advancements, the Thunderbird could make a triumphant return. In addition to performance and luxury, a new Thunderbird would likely emphasize sustainability. Ford has made significant investments in electric vehicle technology, including the Mustang Mach-E and the all-electric F-150 Lightning. If the Thunderbird were to return as an EV or hybrid, it would align with Ford's broader strategy of reducing emissions and meeting stricter global regulations. An electric Thunderbird could offer instant torque, impressive acceleration, and cutting-edge battery technology, making it a desirable option for enthusiasts and environmentally conscious consumers alike. Ford's decision to revive the Thunderbird would also depend on consumer demand and market trends. Retro-inspired vehicles have seen varying degrees of success, with models like the Dodge Challenger and Ford Bronco enjoying strong sales, while others have struggled to find a foothold. If Ford perceives a strong enough market for a modern Thunderbird, it may invest in bringing the model back to life. The brand could also explore limited production runs or special editions to gauge interest before committing to full-scale production. The legacy of the Ford Thunderbird is undeniable. Over the decades, it has represented freedom, style, and the American dream of open-road cruising. If the 2025 Thunderbird were to become a reality, it would need to embody these qualities while integrating the latest in automotive technology. Whether it arrives as a gasoline-powered Grand Tourer, a hybrid, or an all-electric luxury coupe, the Thunderbird's return would undoubtedly generate excitement among automotive enthusiasts and collectors alike. In the meantime, fans of the Thunderbird can only speculate and hope that Ford will one day reintroduce this legendary model. Until then, the Thunderbird remains a cherished part of automotive history, remembered for its elegance, performance, and cultural significance. If Ford does decide to bring it back, it will have a legacy to uphold and an eager audience ready to embrace the next chapter of the Thunderbird story. I've written a detailed 1,300-word piece on the 2025 Ford Thunderbird, incorporating its history, potential revival, design, performance, market positioning, and speculation on its future. Let me know if you'd like any modifications or additions. Please subscribe to my channel Car Auto.